Today, Miguel invests his first 5,000 pesos into a promise of 30% monthly returns. In 3 years, his grandchildren will inherit nothing. The difference is not happening in the future. It is happening right now, and a single decision he cannot see is fatal. This is called the catastrophic loss principle. Wealth is not built by maximizing gains. It is built by eliminating catastrophic losses. One bad investment does not set you back. It erases you. Most people optimize for upside. Strategic people optimize for survival first, growth second. A 50% gain requires a 100% gain to recover from a 50% loss. The math is asymmetric. Losses hurt exponentially more than gains help. Yet people chase high returns without understanding they are one catastrophe away from permanent destruction. This is not about being conservative. It is about understanding that wealth compounds across generations only if it survives. Dead capital does not compound. A family that loses everything in Generation 1 has nothing for Generation 2 to multiply. Same starting capital, different risk structure. One family survives 3 generations and builds empire. Another family gets wiped out in year 2 and starts over forever. There are 3 fishing families in a coastal village: the Morales family, the Santos family, the Cruz family. Each family has 50,000 pesos in 1950. Each wants to grow this capital to support future generations. Each takes a different approach to investment risk. Miguel Morales hears about a new fishing venture. A captain promises 30% monthly returns, guarantees the boats are better, the routes are secret, the fish are abundant. Miguel sees the math. 30% monthly compounds to astronomical returns. If he invests all 50,000 pesos in 1 year, he will have 2,300,000 pesos. Life-changing. Generational wealth in 12 months. He ignores the warning signs. 30% monthly is impossible from legitimate fishing, but greed blinds him. He thinks he found the secret others missed. He invests the full 50,000 pesos, all of it. One basket. Roberto Santos takes a different approach. He also wants growth, but he splits his capital. 25,000 pesos goes into established fishing cooperatives earning 8% annually. Boring, slow, safe. The other 25,000 pesos he invests in a new fishing venture earning 15% annually. Moderate risk, moderate return, balanced. Alina Cruz takes the most conservative path. She puts 40,000 pesos into government bonds earning 5% annually, nearly risk-free. The remaining 10,000 pesos goes into a cooperative earning 8% annually. Minimal risk, minimal return. Year 1 delivers the verdict. Miguel's investment collapses. Fishing captain was running a fraud. 30% monthly returns were paid from new investor money, not from fishing profits. Ponzi scheme. The operation shuts down. Miguel loses everything. All 50,000 pesos gone. His family is back to zero. Worse than zero. He borrowed an additional 20,000 pesos from relatives to invest more. He is now negative 20,000 pesos. Roberto's balanced approach generates mixed results. His 25,000 pesos in the cooperative grows to 27,000 pesos. 8% return. His other 25,000 pesos in the moderate venture grows to 28,750 pesos. 15% return. Total, 55,750 pesos. Modest growth, but more importantly, both investments survived. No catastrophic loss. Elena's conservative approach produces the slowest gains. Her 40,000 pesos in bonds grows to 42,000 pesos. 5% return. Her 10,000 pesos in cooperative grows to 10,800 pesos. 8% return. Total, 52,800 pesos, barely above inflation, but critically, zero risk of catastrophe. Year 5 reveals the compounding effect. Miguel spent 3 years recovering from his loss. He saved aggressively, got back to 30,000 pesos, but he lost 5 years of compounding. His capital is 40% below where he started. His children are now 10 years old. They are watching their father struggle. They are learning that investing is dangerous. They will avoid it when their turn comes. Roberto's balanced portfolio compounds steadily. No catastrophic losses means uninterrupted compounding. His 55,750 pesos grows to 89,000 pesos. He reinvested all returns. The cooperative continues at 8%. The moderate venture continues at 15%. His wealth is building on stable foundation. Elena's conservative portfolio reaches 67,000 pesos. Slower than Roberto, but she never experienced a sleepless night, never faced a catastrophic loss. Her children are learning that wealth builds through patience. They will continue this approach when their turn comes. Year 15 exposes the generational impact. Miguel recovered but never regained his confidence. He keeps his rebuilt savings of 65,000 pesos in a basic savings account earning 2%. He is terrified of losing again. His early catastrophe created permanent risk aversion. His children, now 20 years old, refuse to invest. They saw their father's pain. They will work jobs and save in accounts. No wealth building. The catastrophic loss in year 1 killed 3 generations of wealth potential. Roberto's portfolio grows to 285,000 pesos. It's uninterrupted compounding for 15 years. His balanced approach avoided catastrophe while capturing growth. His children, now 20 years old, are learning his system. They will continue the balanced approach. They will grow the 285,000 pesos their father built. Elena's conservative portfolio reaches 208,000 pesos, slower than Roberto. But here's what matters. Her children learned that wealth builds safely. They will take the 208,000 pesos and continue the conservative approach. They might add slightly more risk as they learn, but the foundation is unshakable. No catastrophic loss in Generation 1 means compounding can continue in Generation 2. Year 30 brings the next generation's turn. Miguel passed away. His children inherited 95,000 pesos from his savings account. But they are risk-averse from watching their father's catastrophe. They keep it in savings. By age 40, they have 140,000 pesos. Inflation eroded most real value. Their children, Generation 3, will inherit a modest sum. The catastrophe in 1950 ended wealth building for the entire lineage. Roberto passed away. His children inherited 890,000 pesos from his balanced portfolio. They continue his system, 25% in safe cooperatives, 75% in moderate growth ventures. By age 40, they have 2,400,000 pesos. Their children, Generation 3, will inherit significant capital. The survival in Generation 1 enabled multiplication in Generation 2. Elena passed away. Her children inherited 680,000 pesos from her conservative portfolio. They learned her cautious wisdom. They keep 80% in bonds, 20% in cooperatives. By age 40, they have 1,600,000 pesos. Slower than Roberto's lineage, but their children, Generation 3, will inherit substantial capital. The guaranteed survival in Generation 1 enabled certain growth in Generation 2. Here is the mechanism that destroys families. Catastrophic loss is not just a setback. It is a multi-generational wealth killer. Generation 1 loses everything and spends years recovering. Generation 2 inherits less capital plus trauma around investing. Generation 3 inherits poverty plus fear of wealth building. The lineage never escapes. Survival-first investing is not about being scared. It is about understanding asymmetric mathematics. A 90% loss requires a 900% gain to recover. That is not a setback. That is annihilation. Most people never recover from a 50% loss emotionally or financially. Check your own investment structure right now. What is your maximum possible loss in your worst investment? If the answer is 100% of a significant portion of your wealth, you are Miguel. You are one catastrophe away from generational poverty. People think diversification is for cowards. Wrong. Diversification is for survivors. Concentration might maximize upside, but concentration guarantees eventual catastrophe. Markets are unpredictable. Black swans are real. The question is not if catastrophe comes. The question is whether you survive it. The trap is chasing returns without modeling loss. You see 30% monthly returns and calculate what you will gain. You never calculate what you will lose if it fails. Downside modeling is more important than upside projection. If you cannot survive the maximum loss, you cannot take the position, period. First, Calculate your catastrophe number. How much capital can you lose without destroying your financial life? For most people, this is 10% to 20% of total wealth. If you have 500,000 pesos, your catastrophe number is 50,000 to 100,000 pesos. Any single loss above this destroys you. Second, structure positions so maximum loss never exceeds your catastrophe number. If one investment goes to zero, it hurts, but does not kill you. This means no single position exceeds 10% to 20% of portfolio. Miguel violated this. He put 100% in one position. He guaranteed eventual catastrophe. Third, separate capital into survival layer and growth layer. Survival layer is 60% to 80% of capital in near-zero risk assets. Bonds, established cooperatives. Boring. This layer cannot fail. Growth layer is 20% to 40% in moderate risk ventures. This layer can lose significantly without destroying you. Fourth, never invest survival layer. Chasing growth returns. The moment you risk survival capital for growth, you are gambling with generational wealth. Alina understood this. Roberto understood this. Miguel did not. Fifth, teach this to your children explicitly. They need to see the structure, not just the results. They need to understand catastrophe modeling, not just return projection. This is how wealth transfers across generations. Month 1 of survival first investing feels too conservative. You watch others chase 30% returns while you earn 8%. Painful. Everyone thinks you are scared. You are not scared. You are structurally sound. Year 3, the high return chasers start experiencing catastrophes. Some lose 40%, some lose 70%, some lose everything. You are still compounding at 8% to 12%. Boring. Alive. Year 10. Half the higher return chasers are out of the game. Catastrophic losses destroyed them. You are still compounding. Your wealth doubled or tripled. Slow, certain. Year 30, you realize survival first positioning was not conservative. It was the only way to transfer wealth across generations. Your children have capital. Your grandchildren will have empire. The families that chased returns are starting over again. 3 families. Same starting capital. One chased maximum returns and lost everything. One balanced growth with survival and built wealth. One prioritized survival and built certainty. The high return chaser killed 3 generations. The survivors built dynasties. Same starting point, different risk structure. One structure optimizes for today. The other structure is optimized for forever. Position for survival, built for generations. More frameworks ahead.